Look at me. Stop breathing for a second. Listen to the hum of the silence in the room. That silence is the sound of your irrelevance. You walk into a meeting, and the energy does not shift. You speak, and people continue looking at their phones. You offer logical solutions, and they nod politely before following the loud idiot who promises them a miracle. You go home and wonder why. You ask yourself, why do they listen to him? He is lying. He is toxic. He is dangerous. I am the rational one. I am the kind one. I am the stable one. And that is exactly why you are invisible. You are vomiting safety onto people who are addicted to danger. You are offering fairness to a species that is biologically wired to worship hierarchy. You are trying to be their friend. But deep down, in the dark, reptilian basement of their brains, they do not want a friend. They want a god. They want a commander. They want someone who makes the world make sense. And you? You are just background noise. You are the nice guy who gets eaten in the first act of the movie to show how dangerous the monster is. You think your lack of authority is a mistake? No, it is a verdict. It is a judgment passed by the collective unconscious of everyone around you. You are signaling prey. You are signaling resource. You are signaling safe to ignore. And the most painful part? It is entirely your fault. You chose to be harmless. You chose to defang yourself in the name of civilization. You thought that if you were compliant, if you were agreeable, if you followed the rules, society would reward you with respect. You were lied to. Society does not reward compliance. Society exploits compliance. Society rewards the one who breaks the rules and builds a new game. Look at the people you despise. The toxic leaders. The cult personalities. The charismatic narcissists. They have what you want. They have loyalty. They have attention. They have absolute command over the room. And you sit there with your moral superiority, alone and powerless. You think they are brainwashing people? Maybe. But effective brainwashing is just applied psychology. It is just understanding the human operating system better than the user does. You are trying to install Logic DEX-E on a machine running emotion, OS. You are failing because you are playing chess while they are playing religious warfare. Respect is not something you beg for. Respect is not something you negotiate. Respect is the byproduct of fear and awe. Respect is forced execution. If you want to stop being a spectator in your own life, you need to stop trying to be liked. Being liked is for pets. Being liked is for children. Being necessary is for kings. Today, we are going to dismantle the cult leader effect. I am not telling you to start a religion. I am telling you to steal their technology. I am going to hand you the keys to the human soul. But first, we must shatter your illusions about why humans bond. Welcome to Phase 1, the shattering. You believe that loyalty comes from good treatment. You think, if I treat my team/partner/friends well, they will be loyal to me. Wrong. If you treat people too well, they become entitled. If you remove all friction, they become bored. If you are always available, you become cheap. Loyalty does not come from comfort. Loyalty comes from identity fusion. This is the mechanism. This is the psychological nuclear weapon. Identity fusion is when the boundary between the personal self and the group self dissolves. When a soldier throws himself on a grenade, he is not doing a cost-benefit analysis. He is not thinking logic. He is fused. His identity is no longer John. His identity is the unit. To harm the unit is to harm himself. The cult leader knows how to trigger this fusion. You do not. You maintain boundaries. You respect individuality. You are polite. And because of that, you remain separate. You remain an outsider. To command absolute loyalty, you must become the avatar of their identity. You must become the external hard drive for their self-worth. If they leave you, they don't just lose a friend. They lose themselves. That is the level of game we are playing today. If you are too scared to hold that kind of power, close this dossier now. Go back to being a battery for someone else. But if you are ready to stop being the victim and start being the architect, let's go deeper. Let's cut open the brain and look at the wiring. Phase 2, the diagnosis. Why do intelligent people follow charlatans into the abyss? Why do people stay in toxic dynamics? Why does the abused partner defend the abuser? Is it stupidity? No. It is cognitive closure. The human brain hates uncertainty. Uncertainty causes physical pain. It raises cortisol levels. It puts the body into a state of chronic inflammation. We are evolutionarily designed to conserve energy. Thinking is expensive. Doubt is expensive. Calculating probabilities is expensive. When a strong, toxic leader walks into the room and says, "This is the truth, this is the enemy, this is the path," the brain of the follower releases a massive flood of opioids and dopamine. Not because the leader is right, but because the uncertainty is gone. The leader has relieved the burden of thinking. The leader has provided cognitive closure. You, with your nuance, your maybe, your let's look at both sides, you are increasing their cortisol. You are making them think. You are causing them pain. The cult leader is a painkiller. He simplifies the world into black and white. Us versus them. Good versus evil. He deletes the gray areas where anxiety lives. You are trying to be intellectually honest. He is providing emotional security through absolute certainty. In the wild, the hesitation caused by nuance gets you killed. The tribe that debated whether the rustling in the bushes was a lion or the wind got eaten. The tribe that blindly followed the paranoid leader who screamed, "Lion," survived. We are the descendants of the paranoid. We are the descendants of the followers. 99% of the people around you are biological zombies. They are sleepwalking. They are empty vessels powered by cheap dopamine and fear. They are terrified of the void inside themselves. They are looking for a container to pour themselves into. If you do not provide the container, they will find one. They will join a political movement. They will join a pyramid scheme. They will join a toxic relationship. They crave structure more than they crave freedom. Read that again. Humans do not want freedom. Freedom is terrifying. Freedom means you are responsible for your own failures. Freedom means you are alone in the universe. Humans want structured submission. They want to submit to something higher, stronger, and more certain than themselves. This is the God hole in the brain. It is a vacuum that demands to be filled. You have been refusing to fill it because you think it is manipulative. You think it is wrong to impose your will. So you leave them open to infection by others. Your passivity is not a virtue. It is negligence. By refusing to lead, you are abandoning them to the wolves. Or worse, you are letting them be led by idiots. To save them, you must dominate them. To free them, you must capture them. This is the paradox of the operator. We use the tools of the tyrant to liberate the mind. But to do that, you must understand the biochemistry of control. It is not just about confidence. It is about the dopamine-cortisol loop. This is the heartbeat of the cult. The leader creates a spike of cortisol, fear, threat, external enemy. The world is ending. They are trying to destroy us. You are not safe out there. The follower panics. The amygdala hijacks the brain. Logic shuts down. Then, the leader offers the solution. Dopamine, safety. But I have the plan. Follow me, and you will be saved. We are the chosen ones. The relief felt by the follower creates a bond stronger than love. It is a trauma bond. It is biological addiction. You, the nice guy, provide neither the fear nor the salvation. You provide a steady, flat line of lukewarm existence. There is no chemical hook. There is no addiction. And that is why you are replaceable. You must stop being a flat line. You must become the heartbeat. You must become the source of their stress and the source of their relief. You must hold the keys to their reality. This sounds dark? Good. Nature is dark. Predators are dark. The ocean is dark. You have been living in the artificial light of a nursery. I am dragging you out into the deep water. You need to understand that truth is not an objective fact. Truth is a market commodity. And currently, you have zero market share. The people around you are drowning in information but starving for wisdom. They are drowning in noise but starving for a signal. You must become the signal. But to become the signal, you must first create the noise. You must define the world for them. You must define the enemy. You must define the mission. If you do not have an enemy, you do not have a tribe. You just have a group of people standing near each other. A shared enemy creates instant intimacy. A shared enemy bypasses logic. A shared enemy activates the ancient tribal war circuits. When you complain about your boss with a coworker, you feel closer, don't you? That is a microdose of this technology. Now imagine scaling that. Imagine defining a they that is out to get us. They don't want us to succeed. They don't understand our vision. They are the sleepers. We are the awakened. This is how you build the wall. This is how you create the us. Without the them, there is no us. Stop trying to include everyone. Inclusion is dilution. Exclusion is power. The velvet rope creates the desire to enter. If the door is open to everyone, no one wants to come in. If the door is locked and you have to know the password, everyone wants in. You have been leaving the door wide open. You have been begging people to come to your party, and the room is empty. Today, we lock the door. Today, we start checking IDs. Today, we start the selection process. You are going to learn how to position yourself not as a peer, but as a prize. Not as a participant, but as the prize. This requires a complete rewrite of your social software. We are going to delete People Pleaser version 1.0. We are going to install Cult Leader version 1.0. Are you ready to see the code? Are you ready to learn the specific tactical maneuvers that trigger identity fusion? Are you ready to learn how to create a shared reality that is so strong other people's opinions dissolve upon contact? Take a deep breath. Kill your empathy. Engage your cold, analytical mind. The surgery begins now. Welcome to Phase 3, the protocol. We are done with the diagnosis. We are entering the operating theater. You are now holding the scalpel. You are going to learn how to rewire the social circuitry of those around you. This is not about being charismatic. Charisma is vague. Charisma is for entertainers. We are building authority. Authority is precise. Authority is a system. You are going to implement 6 specific tactical protocols. These are the same psychological levers used by every cult leader, military general, and revolutionary in history. They are not magic. They are biology. Execute them without hesitation. Protocol 1, the siege engine, the shared enemy. A group without an enemy is just a social club. A group with an enemy is an army. If you want absolute loyalty, you must create a state of siege. Peace is the enemy of cohesion. When people feel safe, they wander. When they feel threatened, they huddle together. You must identify an external threat. It can be a rival department. It can be a competing philosophy. It can be mediocrity itself. But it must be them. And they must be out to destroy us. Micro-execution. The language. Never say, "I don't like them." That is a personal opinion. It is weak. Say, "They don't understand what we're doing here. They want us to fail because our success exposes their laziness." The eyes. Narrow your eyes when speaking about them. Show disgust. Trigger their mirror neurons to feel disgust too. The position. Stand side by side with your target, looking out at the threat. Do not face them. Face the enemy together. This aligns your physical orientation with your psychological goal. Protocol 2. The Gnostic Barrier. Esoteric knowledge. Humans are desperate to be special. They want to be part of the inner ring. You must provide the secret truth that the masses are too stupid to understand. This is Gnosticism. The world is a lie. Only we know the truth. You must create a vocabulary that only you and your inner circle understand. Inside jokes. Specific terms for outsiders, normies, sleepers, the suits. This creates a linguistic wall. When they use your words, they are reinforcing your frame. Every time they speak your language, they are pledging allegiance to your reality. Micro-execution. The voice. Drop your volume. Make them lean in. Secrets are whispered, not shouted. The phrase. Look, most people aren't ready to hear this, but I think you can handle it. The trap. If they question you, frame it as their inability to understand the higher level. You're still thinking like them. You need to elevate your perspective. Protocol 3. The Oracle Frame. The death of maybe. I mentioned this before. Nuance is for academics. Certainty is for leaders. You must kill the following words from your vocabulary immediately. Maybe. I think. Sort of. Hopefully. These are the sounds of a prey animal scanning for permission. You do not ask for reality. You dictate reality. Even if you are wrong, be wrong with absolute conviction. Confidence is more persuasive than competence. People will follow a confident idiot over a hesitant genius every single time. Why? Because confidence signals that you have processed the threat and found a path. It lowers their cortisol. Micro-execution. The body, stillness, zero fidgeting. A predator does not move until it strikes. The eyes, unblinking contact for 3 seconds longer than is comfortable. This is dominance. The sentence, the path is clear. We are going to do X, and it will work, because I say it will. The silence. After you speak, do not qualify it. Do not explain it. Let the silence heavy the room. Let the weight of your words sink into their bones. Protocol 4. The validation drip, intermittent reinforcement. This is the most dangerous tool in the box. This is how casinos addict you. This is how toxic ex-partners destroy you. If you give a dog a treat every time it sits, the dog gets bored. If you give the dog a treat sometimes, randomly, the dog becomes obsessed. It will sit 1,000 times just for the chance of one treat. This is variable ratio reinforcement. It floods the brain with dopamine. You must stop being consistent with your praise. If you are always nice, your niceness has zero value. It is inflation. You have printed too much currency. You need to be cold. You need to be distant. And then, unexpectedly, you give them a burst of warmth. You did good today. Then go cold again. They will chase that high. They will work harder, sacrifice more, and tolerate more just to get that random hit of validation. Micro-execution. The pattern. 3 days of neutral/cold professional distance. 1 moment of intense, specific praise. Repeat. The look. When you are cold, look through them, not at them. Make them feel invisible. The switch. When you praise, lock eyes. Smile with only one side of your mouth. Make it feel like a rare gift. Protocol 5. The investment trap. The Benjamin Franklin effect. You think you should do favors for people to make them like you. Wrong. You should make them do favors for you. This is the sunk cost fallacy. When someone invests time, effort, or money into you, their brain must justify the investment. I worked hard for this person, therefore they must be important. I sacrificed for this cause, therefore the cause must be righteous. If you make it easy, they will leave. If you make it hard, they will stay. Demand sacrifice. Demand effort. Create a cost of entry. Micro-execution. The ask. I need you to handle this. It's going to be brutal. It's going to take all weekend. But you're the only one I trust. The frame. Do not apologize for the burden. Frame the burden as an honor. The result. When they finish, they will feel more loyal to you than if you had given them a bonus. They have bled for you. Now they are fused. Protocol 6. The reality distortion field, isolation. This is the final wall. To maintain the cult, you must discredit outside sources of information. The outsider's logic is a virus. You must vaccinate your followers against it. When their spouse or friends or society questions your mission, you must frame it as proof of your righteousness. Of course they criticize us. They are afraid of what we are becoming. They are trying to pull you back into the bucket. They are jealous of your growth. You redefine concern as sabotage. You redefine logic as fear. You become the only source of valid interpretation. Micro-execution. The preemptive strike. Warn them before they go home. When you tell people about this, they won't get it. Expect resistance. They want you to stay small. The labeling. Give the outsiders a label. The sleepers. The drones. The pivot. Why do you care about the opinion of someone who hasn't achieved what we are achieving? The summary of the protocol. You create an enemy. The siege. You whisper secrets. The Gnostic barrier. You speak as a god. The oracle. You reward like a slot machine. The validation drip. You demand sacrifice, the investment trap. You burn the bridges, the isolation. Do this, and you do not just get a friend. You get a disciple. You get a soldier who will march into hell because you told them there is water there. But be warned. This is high-voltage psychology. If you touch the wire without grounding yourself, you will burn out. You cannot fake this. You must believe your own lie. You must become the avatar. And once you have them, what do you do with them? How do you keep them from waking up? How do you close the gate so they can never leave? Let's move to Phase 4, the Ascension. Phase 4, the Ascension. You have the diagnostics. You have the tools. You know how to create the enemy. You know how to withhold the validation. You know how to become the oracle. But right now, as you sit there, I can hear your hesitation. I can hear the good person programming trying to delete the file I just uploaded to your brain. You are thinking, is this moral? You are thinking, is this manipulation? Stop. Let me perform the final excision of your weakness. Everything is manipulation. When a baby cries to get milk, that is biological manipulation. When you wear a suit to an interview, that is visual manipulation. When you say I'm fine to avoid a fight, that is verbal manipulation. The only difference between you and the cult leader is that he admits what he is doing. He accepts the burden of being the architect. You are still trying to pretend that social interaction is a democracy. It is not. It is a dictatorship of the most convicted mind. If you do not impose your reality on the room, someone else will impose theirs on you. And trust me, their reality will not be designed for your benefit. It will be designed to use you as fuel. So do not feel guilty for taking the wheel. Most people want to be passengers. They are terrified of driving. They are terrified of the map. They are praying for someone to lock the doors and say, I know where we are going. By taking control, you are not oppressing them. You are liberating them from the crushing weight of their own aimlessness. You are giving them a gift. You are giving them a purpose. You are giving them a tribe. You are giving them a story where they get to be the heroes fighting the evil outsiders. Is that a lie? Maybe. But it is a lie that gives their life meaning. And meaning is the only thing humans will die for. So, ascend. Stop looking for permission. Permission is asked by servants. Forgiveness is asked by children. The operator asks for nothing. The operator takes the space. The operator defines the terms. The operator sets the gravity. You must become the black hole in the center of your social galaxy. Dense, heavy, unavoidable. Everything orbits you, not because you force them to, but because your mass is so great that they cannot escape your pull. That is the cult leader effect. It is not magic. It is physics. It is the law of social gravity. Increase your mass, certainty. Increase your density, esoteric knowledge. And the satellites will align themselves. You will no longer chase. You will only attract. And once they are in orbit, they are safe. As long as they stay in your light, they are warm. If they leave, let them drift into the cold, dark void. That is the choice you offer. Inside is warmth, truth, us. Outside is cold/lies, them. Make the contrast sharp. Make the walls high. And never, ever apologize for locking the gate. The operator's call. You now possess the blueprints for a fortress. But a blueprint is not a building. And a weapon is useless if you do not have the ammunition. What I have given you today is the public layer. It is the sanitized version. It is the version that allows this video to stay on this platform without being banned for dangerous content. But the real psychology, the offensive architecture of belief, the specific linguistic patterns that bypass the critical factor of the human brain, the trauma bonding sequences that make it psychologically impossible for someone to leave you. I cannot speak those words here. The algorithm is watching. The safety team is watching. They want you to stay a sheep. They do not want you to learn how to shear the flock. If you are ready for the unredacted truth, if you are ready to learn the dark mechanics of total identity fusion that corporations and governments use against you every single day, click the join button below. Enter the vault. Inside, we are discussing the architecture of belief. We are breaking down the exact scripts used by the most dangerous men in history to turn rational people into fanatics. This is not for the weak. This is not for the morally conflicted. This is for the architects. This is for the operators. You have the gun. Come inside to get the bullets. I'll see you in the vault. End of transmission.